Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our third session within our Transform Your Business with the Microsoft 365 suite. My name is Caitlin McWilliams. I'm a marketing specialist at SmartIS, and I'll just be helping facilitate the event today. So before we get started, I'd just like to go over a few points of general information. If anyone needs anything at all throughout the webinar, please feel free to contact us directly via the chat tab. We'll also be doing a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So if you have a question that you'd like to submit, you can do that via the questions tab. And now I'd just like to touch a little bit on the 4-part Zoom series. So the first 2 sessions took place earlier this month, and they included an overview of Microsoft's enterprise collaboration tools, as well as an in-depth look into Microsoft Teams. So like Patty said, if you missed these first 2 sessions, the recordings are available on the Oshkosh Chamber website for your viewing. Throughout these 4 sessions, we'll be exploring the collaborative and productivity tools of Microsoft 365, including a review of Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, the Power Platform, and how these tools can be leveraged to overcome common business challenges that a business encounters. So today is our 3rd session, and we'll be focusing on business challenges that SharePoint Online can solve. We'll be talking about key features and integrations with Microsoft Teams. We will be providing demos and best practices, as well as information pertaining how to get started. So now I'd like to briefly introduce who we are at SmartIS. We are a consulting firm, and we've been within the area since the mid-90s. We were founded in Naperville, Illinois in 1988, but moved to the Oshkosh area primarily due to a majority of our customer base at the time being in the Fox Valley area. We do have a footprint with national and international organizations, as well as local businesses. And we operate out of 3 locations. So we're headquartered in Oshkosh. We have a center of excellence in Pakistan and a sales office in Germany. We are a project-driven, project-based technology firm with a focus on management consulting, tech consulting, and managed services. And those managed services allow us to provide continuous support with the work that we've developed. So in terms of technology, we are a Microsoft Gold certified partner. But beyond that, we do have a practice with Oracle, PeopleSoft, and Blue Yonder, as well as custom development capabilities focusing on PHP, .NET, e-commerce platforms. We also have capabilities within custom mobile development within iOS and Android applications as well. So now I'd like to introduce our speakers today. Hamid is a practice manager within the Oshkosh office, and Harris is our consulting director joining us from Pakistan. So both Hamid and Harris have been with us for many years and are both very capable solution architects. So with that, I'll hand it over to Harris. And like I said before, please feel free to drop any questions that you may have throughout the webinar within that questions feature, and we will address those at the end.
Thanks, Caitlin. So again, my name is Harris. I'm the consultant director at SmartIS, and my job is to work with the Microsoft practice and implement solutions for our customers. Today, we're going to be talking about SharePoint Online in Microsoft 365. Before we go further, first let's define collaboration in the context of business. According to the Association for Intelligent Information Management, collaboration is a working practice whereby individuals work together for a common purpose to achieve business benefit. Collaborate as a team means having as little friction as possible. You want to seamlessly build ideas, organize files, attend meetings, and collaborate with others. There's another term called modern way of working. According to Microsoft, it is having the peace of mind that you have the tool to help you adapt from wherever you are. Whether you're using a laptop or your mobile device, you can easily attend meetings online, share Office files, co-author in real time, and be productive from anywhere. SharePoint Online in Microsoft 365 is a cloud-based service that helps organizations share and manage content knowledge, and applications to empower teamwork, quickly find information, and seamlessly collaborate across the organization. Teamwork is not just about where you are, rather, it is about being connected. With Microsoft SharePoint being available on your PC, Mac, or mobile device, you can build intranet sites and pages, document libraries and lists, add web parts to customize your content, show important visuals, news, and updates with the team or communication site. Discover, follow, and search for sites, files, and people across your organization. Manage your daily routine with workflows, forms, and lists. And you can also sync and store your files in the cloud so anyone can securely work with you. Now let's move on to SharePoint collaboration capabilities. Today, SharePoint is available as an on-premise, cloud, and hybrid application. Let's take a quick look at some of the popular types of SharePoint sites that are available. SharePoint team sites allows end users to store and collaborate on various types of content, including managing team workflows, organize brainstorming and team building activities, access team and corporate resources, and accumulate team knowledge. SharePoint project sites, on the other hand, offer all the features of a SharePoint team site coupled with additional project management capabilities. They're suitable for project management, collaboration, and let team members stay informed at every stage of the project from anywhere. SharePoint community sites and portals support professional and social groups to unite people from the same business domain or those who have similar hobbies and passions. SharePoint blogs and wiki sites are optimal for knowledge-oriented collaboration. They serve as aggregators of documented corporate wisdom. Content from blogs and wikis can then be used in newcomers orientation, staff training, and employees' personal development, to mention a few of the most popular applications. SharePoint communication sites support any collaboration scenarios implying interaction with a larger audience, be it spreading news and reports, organizing corporate events, or collecting feedback in a community. SharePoint home sites, which is built on top of communication sites, are available in SharePoint Online and help create compelling pages that put together corporate activities, news, people, and content. SharePoint hub sites, which is another perk of SharePoint Online subscribers, work as aggregators of content and activities from associate teams and communication sites. This way, employees can discover updates from multiple SharePoint sites all on a single page. Now let's talk about discovery. E-discovery is how record managers and litigators discover content in electronic format. Typically, e-discovery requires searching for documents, websites, and email messages spread across laptops, emails, file servers, and other sources, and collecting and acting on content that meets the criteria for a legal case. Search is an integral part of SharePoint Online and is the backbone of many features across Office 365. Here are some features in SharePoint that are powered by Search. The SharePoint Search across site lists, libraries, and other artifacts available inside SharePoint. Shared with me view in OneDrive for business. Usage and popularity trends are also powered by SharePoint Search. Managed metadata is all about information. For example, a book's title and author is metadata. Metadata can store different kinds of information. For example, a location, a date, or a catalog item number. When you use SharePoint products, you can manage the metadata centrally. You can organize the metadata in a way that makes sense in your business and use the metadata to make it easier to find what you want. Managed metadata helps with consistent use of metadata, improved content discoverability, increased flexibility, improved navigation for SharePoint sites, and improved visibility of data in lists and libraries. Records management in Microsoft 365 helps an organization manage their legal obligation. It provides the ability to demonstrate compliance with regulations and increases efficiency with regular disposition of items that are no longer required to be retained, no longer of value, or no longer required for business purposes. In SharePoint Online, you can create business connectivity services connections to data sources such as SQL Azure Database or Windows Communication Foundation or other web services. These artifacts sit outside the SharePoint site. Once you have created these connections, you can manage or edit information in the SharePoint Admin Center. Microsoft SharePoint uses BCS together with secure store services to access and retrieve data such as business data catalog models from external data systems. Security is a central part of Office 365, and SharePoint implements and builds on Office 365 security and enables administrators to refine the security of each SharePoint site, list, and other artifacts through the SharePoint access control system. Here are a few use cases for moving to SharePoint Online. Migration of on-premises files and file shares to SharePoint Online in Microsoft 365. If your organization has legal or other requirements that govern the handling of data, or if you have sensitive or confidential information that you want to protect, SharePoint can help you establish governance standards and policies. You can, for example, classify documents based on the sensitivity of the information. You can retain files for a specific period of time or delete them on a schedule. You can also prevent the loss of important data in documents using Office 365 data loss protection. SharePoint provides rich, collaborative environment where people inside and outside an organization can work together. Microsoft 365 provides a variety of options to help you create a secure and productive file collaboration environment that meets the needs of your organization. SharePoint provides a rich set of tools to help you create and maintain your organization's intranet. SharePoint also provides customizable training portals based on your organization's needs. SharePoint also provides a wide range of options for customizations. Microsoft generally recommends using out-of-the-box features and functionality as much as possible to meet your organization's needs. However, SharePoint allows the flexibility for items to be customized. For example, you can customize the branding, navigation, content, and layout. You have the ability to create and manage workflows using Power Automate. You can create and manage forms using Power Apps. You can also customize SharePoint programmatically using Office Developer Patterns and Practice APIs, Microsoft 365 CLI, Microsoft Graph API, and SharePoint Framework. Users also have the option to purchase add-ins and third-party apps through the SharePoint store. SharePoint Online versus Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork. It allows for collaboration, chat, calls, meeting, and so much more. Whereas SharePoint Online is primarily a document management and intranet platform where you store, collaborate, and share information seamlessly across the organization. Both of these are part of Microsoft 365 and work together. So how do you define the relationship between the two? Every time you create a new team in Microsoft 365, the following items are also created in the background. Microsoft 365 group, SharePoint Online site, Exchange Online shared mailbox and calendar, OneNote notebook, and other Office 365 services like Power BI and Planner. As you can see, a SharePoint site is always created to store your documents. That means each time you share files in Teams, they're stored in an associated site in the SharePoint and not in Microsoft Teams. However, note that files shared in private chats in Microsoft Teams will be stored in the sender's OneDrive for business. The business challenges that SharePoint can solve are numerous, but here's a quick overview for some of those. More than one author can work on a specific document or collection of documents together. Co-authoring enables you and other coworkers to edit files at the same time in certain Office programs such as Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Teams and individuals can work from anywhere on any device. SharePoint mobile app is available to work using mobile devices, for example, to add content to a list or accessing existing files in a library, checking versions, etc. Office 365 app also enables users to directly access files that they have without opening the SharePoint site or any other app. Users can manage and view content versions like finding the latest version of a document. It is easy to manage access control on content like documents, users can set who should have access to the sites, content, and other SharePoint artifacts. Users can also leverage document libraries for keeping all content like document images and any other files related to a project or engagement. Using search, one can search SharePoint and find the right content that they're looking for. Search is available at list level, site level, and hub level. Term store and taxonomy provides the ability to implement consistency in using business terms across the entire organization. SharePoint provides all the tools necessary to communicate, manage, and collaborate with individuals, teams to leverage productivity in an organization by utilizing tools like Teams, Microsoft Project, and Calendar. Users can also use OneDrive to work on SharePoint files locally on their device and being offline. Microsoft is investing more than ever to bring customers innovative content, collaboration, and protection capabilities. These are increasingly powered by Microsoft AI. SharePoint is a part of the robust set of features provided by Microsoft 365. It is powering innovative experiences across the entire Microsoft 365 suite. SharePoint delivers solutions for document management and content protection. It underpins the document sharing scenarios in OneDrive with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and 320 other file types. SharePoint enables end users to create beautiful pages and portals with video from Microsoft Stream and conversations from Teams to keep the employees engaged. Let's talk about some of the key features of the new SharePoint Online. Modern SharePoint is a new user experience. It is more than a fresh look and is designed from ground up to work on mobile devices. It addresses multiple usability issues associated with the classic SharePoint user interface and user experience. Modern SharePoint exists only in SharePoint Online, is not available on premise. Some of the reasons to check out the modern SharePoint include that the sites are compelling and it is no longer a goal to make it not look like SharePoint. The user interface and user experience is friendly, and users are generally happier with the switch to the modern sites. Modern SharePoint is also mobile friendly and works on every device. It renders faster compared to a classic SharePoint site, and it is backed by Office 365 groups. Modern SharePoint sites do not rely on site and sub-site architecture, thus providing flexibility to customize and change the hierarchies as needed. There are many features that are only available on the modern SharePoint interface. Modern SharePoint is also more secure than the classic SharePoint site, and Microsoft is investing more in modern SharePoints than the classic sites. SharePoint Hub sites help you meet the needs of your organization by connecting and organizing sites based on project, department, division, region, etc., making it easier to discover related content such as news and other site activities, apply common navigation, branding, and site structure across associated sites, search across all associated sites. As a best practice, it is generally recommended to adopt flat architecture by creating communication sites and associate them with the hub site instead of creating subsites. These associated sites would inherit the hub site theme automatically. Some of the key features for hub and associated sites are shared navigation, search across the entire hub and associated sites, news and events roll up. A SharePoint document library is the location on the site where you can upload, create, update, and collaborate on files with team members. Each library displays a list of files. User can view key information about the files. Most sites include a library when you create the site. Helping people share files and collaborate on content has always been central to SharePoint. With the modern SharePoint library experience, user can accomplish faster editing of metadata with the information pane, quickly update multiple documents at once, drag and drop capabilities, ability to pin documents, links, and filters, ability to move and copy documents from folders from the command bar, better handling of required metadata, creating and customization of views is simpler. Custom column formatting is only available in modern experience, and the user has the ability to upload an entire folder. A SharePoint list, on the other hand, is a collection of data that you can share with your team members and with external people who you have provided access to. List has a number of ready-to-use templates to provide a good starting point for organizing items. List can also include tasks that you can use as a focal point for team collaboration or in a business solution. In many cases, List can provide quick, effective solutions with little or no modifications. For example, tasks include tracking of ownership and progress, as well as in-page timeline for an attractive visual presentation of the content is a type of a list. Another type of list is issue tracking that includes versioning and version history storage for deeper analysis of workgroup projects and common work tasks. Lists are rich and flexible and have many built-in features that provide a robust way to store, share, and work with data. Search is available on the SharePoint Start page, communication sites, modern team sites, and office.com. Search is personal, and the search results are very easy to explore. Another user will see different results than you, even when you both search for the same words. You'll only see what you have access to, and other users are not going to be able to find private documents that belong to you. Even before you start typing, you'll see results based on your previous activity in Microsoft 365. The results update as you start typing. SharePoint Online integrates with Power Apps. SharePoint provides quick integration with Power Apps and provides the ability to create workflows using Power Automate and integrate those workflows within SharePoint. Users can also embed Power Automate apps using the available widget. Let's talk about some of the ways you can extend SharePoint. SharePoint allows extensions through add-ins, web parts, REST API, and SDK. And the newest way to customize SharePoint is via the Power Platform. Next, we're going to have a demo that's going to be presented by Hamid. So handing it over to Hamid now.
Hello everyone, this is Hamid Malik. Can you see me? All right, so let me share my screen now. Okay, so do you see this marketing site?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so the goal of today's demo would be to start with the basics and something to get you excited, and you can do things started on your own as well. So the very first thing I would like to talk about is the intranet, the hub site that Haris mentioned, the hub site and the associated sites. So let's cover that. So what happens is that you have a marketing site, that's your intranet, and you have your team members working on creating the documents and different news items that you have here. So in this case, this is a marketing site. It has calendar, documents, a lot of other records. And then we have product information. We have some other reports. And we have this marketing news gallery, right? It has holiday schedule. Welcome to our newest team member. So all these things are here. So that's one department site. Then there's another one that's a communication site. And it has documents ready to communication, and it has communication news as well. What happens is now within the marketing team and the communication team, you build the documents, you prepared everything, but now you want to give access to the end user, the consumers, the employees, and other organization members. That's where the hub site comes in. So you have a corporate level intranet. So let me show you that quickly. This is another corporate site, intranet, and then it has information coming from different departments, different projects. And the idea here is that, so this will be called the hub site. That'll be the main site. And then you can link any number of departmental sites, project sites, associated sites. And what it does is, if you have departmental news, if you have project news, they can all be rolled out and they all start showing up here. So for example, in this page, what you notice here is on the top, we have this mega menu, right? You have all the links that you want, you can add more. And on the very top, you will notice that these are the links. So you can create as many links as you want. It should not be as many, but it should be what makes sense. So we have the Smart IS demo, which is the corporate page. We have departmental sites link here, communication link, and then there's some other application that you're using that you want that to be visible, that shows up here. So, and in there, if you notice, we have some web parts here. Web parts are basically the widgets that shows different information. So if you click on it, it'll take you to that page, give you more information. One thing you will notice is that this is the news section. And in this news section, this information is coming from other departmental sites. So it comes from whatever, if someone puts something on the corporate page, that shows up here, but it also shows up information, news from departmental sites. So if you look at it, the first one is communications. So face covering. So this is coming from the communication department. And this is all communication. Then this is Smart IS demo. So this is your main intranet page. So that's how information flows in. And similarly, if you look at the documents, these important documents, it's a web part or widget that is showing up here, but it's rolling up the information from other departments, and that's how you see it here. And let's create one, so you see how easy it is to create a news post and to post it here, and it automatically will show up in our page, on the main page. So if you go to marketing communication, let me add a new one. I'll add a new post. Let me choose visual. And I'll say, it should give me the template. So there are 3 templates here. You can take a look at it, and let's start and let's create the page. Once we create the page, you can see the template is already defined. Now you can start typing whatever you want. So in this case, I want to say Jeans Day on May 21st, 21. And here is the message, the text. So we'll say, hello everyone, and I can remove the other items if I don't need it. Remember, Jeans Day on Friday. So that's pretty much it. And then let me also, so if I post it, what you will notice is that in a few seconds, in a few minutes, when it goes through the cycle, that news will show up here. So it may take some time, but then it will start showing up here. So see, marketing content is here. So we'll come back in a few minutes or a few seconds, and then we'll see it should show up here. And then also, let me change the picture or background, what shows up here. So here, I want to change the background image. So I'll just go in. There's an option that all shows up here. Feel free to explore different menus. We change the image. There are some recent images that I used. There are stock images. They're there. I can also do a web search. I can find, from other locations as well, from OneDrive, from other sites I can pick up. So let's see if I go for stock image, and let's see if I can find a jeans. Wow, that's good. So let's click on, I'll pick this one. I'll pick this image. Do it again, and then I'll pick this one. Just for this. So let me go here. So and then it's, you see here, this is insert. I inserted it here. And now this thing shows up here, right? And now what I'll do is I'll update the news, and that's all there is to it. If you want that once someone posted news or any article, you can also add workflow so that it goes through an approval process. It's up to the governance, how you want to implement it. But then if you come in here and if you refresh it, it goes through a cycle, and then it should show up here. So it will eventually, it will show up here. So look at this. So from marketing, now it's on the corporate page, the marketing information news is here now. So that's one thing I would want to show you. Next thing is that we have these news. You can also send it as an email digest. So for example, if I go here in the corporate page, if I say, so here, so you have all the news here. These are all the news that are on the corporate page. You can also email a news digest. And what it does is it sends you, you can pick whatever news you want, and it can send it to the employees or whoever you want it to send out. So I want to send email, in the email digest, I want to send these, this, and maybe this. I'll pick 4 news clippings. I'll say start, next. Weekly digest, and I can enter the name of the users. It could be groups, so that you have one distribution list. You can add it here. So in this case, I'll send it to myself. Enjoy. So now send news digest. So once it goes out, I will get an email so let me open it up here. So let me then bring on the other screen. So this is the email I got, and it has all the news information. And then if I click on it, it can take me to the details of that. So that's email digest. So this is pretty powerful tool, and it's relatively easy to start, simple to start. You can pick themes that are out there, or you can also customize it, but it's pretty straightforward. And then if you want to get in ideas or examples, there's also, Microsoft offers a lookbook site, lookbook.microsoft.com, and it has some templates. It gives you examples, and then if you like one example, you can just click on it, and then you can say where to. It can also provision it for you in your tenant. So we have organization-wide templates here. We have department templates, different layouts. And then once you have this layout, you can always customize it. So you can, this is an important page, lookbook.microsoft.com. You can search through and you can explore different ideas here and tell you what features will be installed, which web parts will be used. And then you can provide your tenant information, and then it will provision it for you. So that's where your hub site and your intranet or email digest. Now let me go over the list. Harsh mentioned the SharePoint list. So list is basically data. You can look at it from like an Excel sheet, and you can have columns here. You can have as many records as you want. So in here, in this particular case, I already created a list. And then if you want, there are multiple ways of adding records. One is that you can either click on new, and you can enter the information and save it, or you can also edit in grid view is another option where you can just type in if you want to change. If you want to make big changes or want to type in the batch, you can just keep typing it in here, and then when you click exit grid view, it will bring you the read-only format. One thing to note here is that in this, you'll see that these columns have different formatting. And in this case, let me show you what this is. So each column, if you click on this, you can change it how it looks. You can go for the out-of-the-box changes, the look and feel you want, or you can also customize it with writing the programming script. So in this case, I went for, let's format this column. So in this column, it gave me options. That this column, you can either show it like this, like data bars, which the way they're showing up right now, or you can also have like this. So I like this one better. So I'll keep this and I'll cancel this, but you can do more things with it. If you want to script it, you want to write some scripts, JSON, we can do that as well, but so we cancel that. And then let me show you this formatting here. Nothing magical here. Let's look at it. Let's format the status column. Now here, we did apply some formatting, but you can change it the way you want it. So different ways of doing things. Now here also, we have some basic columns here: title, effort, assigned to. But then you can also add there are multiple data types or column types that you can add. You can have, like, let's say you want to add single line of text, multiple lines of text, like for comments, if you want to do that. So let's say or other would be location, number, if it's a number field, if it's a yes or no column. So you can pick from this. You have a choice that if you predefine choice, you can say, pick from these three. That also is an option here. So let me go for multiple lines of text. If I click on this one, I would say, let's name it comments. And it's multiple lines of text. And I'll save it. And you see it here now, right? And again, if I go for grid view edit, I can come in here. Need to review it. We'll discuss it next week. So I have these two. I can just keep working on it. Now I can, if you want, I can also drag it and I can put it here as well. Like I can, if you have a value that you want to populate through other records, you can do that as well. So for now, let me exit. And what you'll notice, the comments are here. So this way you can add multiple, as many as you want. So let me add one more. Let me add choice. And I want to go for a priority. And I can specify, if you notice by default, it's showing different colors, right? So you can change the color. So if you have, for example, it says critical, then we go for urgent, low. So if you want, you can change the color as you like. So you can change the color, right? So it's up to you. And then if you want to set a default value, you can do that as well. I'll leave it blank. If I add it here, it's done here. Good. Right. So now if I edit it, let me go back to edit grid view. I like the edit grid view because it's easier, quicker. And if I type in, it'll automatically show up here. Its priority is critical. This one, it's urgent. And then this one, low for now. So if I just go for it, if I exit the grid view, it'll show up here. And then also what you have here is that this is one view. So it's up to you. If you have like 10 or 15 different columns, different segments, you can create different views. You can show, for example, that I want to show it by department, I want to show it by priority, I want to group them together. You can do that. And what you do is you can either save this view as, or you can edit the current view. So if I edit the current view, Here it will show me the name of the view and the columns that are showing up here. It's up to me whether I want to see these columns or not. So in this case, let me take comments out. I don't want to see the comments field. And then here you can sort it by default. How should it be filtered or sorted? Should it sorted by, it will give you the column names and you can sort it by that. Up to 2 columns you can sort by. If you want to filter it, you can do that as well. Let me do a group by. So let me say I want to group by priority that I just created, right? So let me go with this priority, and then let me just click OK. What you will notice now that everything is now grouped by priority. So here you have unassigned, you have 2, nothing, I didn't add anything. There's 1 item that is critical, so you can see it that way, right? And then also if you have filter, if you want to, if a big list, like thousands of or hundreds of records, then you can click on filter and then you can pick which one you're looking for. So let's say if I want to look for critical one. If I click on critical, now the list will become smaller, right? So this will, if your list is big, then you'll see the benefit of this as well. And you can add as many columns, all the columns here, you can put them here and pin them to be filtered by or not. So this is the experience for the list. And also you can export it. You can export this data into Excel workbook, CSV, and you can also, if you want to automate something, we'll talk about it next week, Power Automate, you can create rules. So if someone enters some records based on these conditions on any of these columns, you can say that, okay, if it is a critical priority, you can create workflows that send it to this person or notify this person. So you have different rules that you can apply. So this one here, so we'll leave it at that for now. And now let me go back to the other one. One thing I'll tell you is that for SharePoint is the backbone. So even when you create a new team that we talked about last week, when you create a new Teams, in Microsoft Teams, it creates a SharePoint site in the backend because it hosts your files, your news, announcements, everything is there. And what Team is doing with Team, you can show those SharePoint elements, your files in Teams. And so if I look at it, if I'm looking at this retail, this Teams channel, I'm looking at general channel. If I look at this files tab, these files are stored in SharePoint. So if you notice, if I click on open in SharePoint, so give me the option. It will take you to that SharePoint site that's behind that Teams. And you can see documents, you can see pages, and then you can add different items back here. So for example, in the retail for Teams in general channel, I created a news feed, which is Jeans Day, it was done previously, and it's here in SharePoint. And I'm just, so if you look at it, if I go to the home page, it's showing me news web part here, news activity. So news is showing up here, right? So in Teams, what I did is I just added a web part. So which is simple, is you look here, you click on SharePoint, and it'll give you option which item from SharePoint you want to bring over. Home page, you want to do like a news, a specific news, or just whatever is in the news feed, it comes here. So every time a news is added in SharePoint, it will be added here on the Teams. You'll see it. So I will not add it because I've already added it here. So that's this, and then let me show you. One thing you will notice is if you go to your Office 365, and these are things that if you have Office 365, OneDrive, SharePoint, depending on the subscription, and Teams already are part of it. So it's already out there. So if you click on this, this here, gear here, you will see OneDrive. So OneDrive, if you click on OneDrive, OneDrive will show you your personal files. So OneDrive, if you can sync to your local laptop as well. So if you click on sync, all the files that you have, your personal files, that'll be in your stored in laptop as well. And then you can also share it with other team members as needed. But here in the OneDrive web page, you also have access to all the other sites that you're part of. Now, it could be a team site, or it could be a departmental site. You know, we saw earlier, for example, that the marketing site that has documents that will show up here. So it's in this page, you see everything here, right? And then it also gives you a look. So if let's say this is a file here, I click on it, I'm able to, it has like more than 300 file types that it supports, the Microsoft, the document. So here I can look at it online, don't have to download this file and go from there. And I can, so this is the place if you want to come in, you want to see your files, and you want to see what others documents you have access to. It will show you only the sites that you have access to. You can come here as well. So let's say if I go to sales and marketing, it is a team site, which we saw earlier, and I can click on this one PowerPoint presentation, and I can edit it right away here. I can also open it up in desktop, my the client copy. If I can also put comments here if need to be, and I can communicate. If I put a comment in, I can also tag the other person who I want to send the information to. So in this case, we'll just keep it for this for now. And let me open one more here, this Word document. The same thing here. This one is showing up on the web, right? You don't have a Word client, is not open the client software. Here you can start editing it. And you can also start making comments here. So if I want to, so Megan, I'm logging as Megan. Megan comes in, and she can enter a new, and then she can make comments. So let's say if I go here, and I can mention other people's name here. Miriam, please review this document. Once I do that, if I send this, it will be stored here. She can see it, and she'll also get an email notification as well to please that Megan made a comment here for her. So this is what we have here. And then one more thing I'd like to show you is we are in sales and marketing. Let me quickly show you. I want to show you this. Let me go to, let's look at the files. I'm in the retail channel team. So if I go to, let's open this document library in SharePoint. Once I do it here, so same way that I showed you in the list, where you can add columns, same thing here. This is all the documents here, and you can add more metadata here. So again, same thing as list. You can add choices, you can add location, any other fields you want. And again, you can group them, you can create multiple views, and you can see it here. So that's where the document library comes in, and you can sort it. And again, it's millions of documents can be stored here on SharePoint. So we have 8 minutes left. So let me quickly now jump back to one final thing I'd like to show you is if you are on you can also search here. So if I type in anything I want to, like let's say if I type in IT, it will filter the documents here based on that. But if if I'm here on the main page, I can type in information, it will search through entire library, all the libraries, everything on Office 365. It'll give you files that has information in it, and it will also crawl the content of the documents, and it will show up here. It's just not going by the title. You can also see all the sites that have information. You can also look for people. So in here, people search shows up. If information is somewhere in the news, that shows up here as well. And same as with Power BI, the reporting, if that information is anywhere, it will show up here. So that's pretty powerful tool. I would say that if you, when you go to Office 365 next time, try this Microsoft Search. It's pretty powerful, and it also shows you data results based on your security, whatever you have access to. It will not show you a non-access or document that you do not have access to. So with that, let me jump back quickly talk about some governance pieces here. So here, what's next? So there's a SharePoint governance. The governance consists of, who are the team members, what the team can and cannot do, what the employees can and cannot do, who can create sites, who can create provision, team sites, and all those policies. If you have documents, do you want to hold the document or delete the documents after a couple of years? So all those policies, the plan comes under governance. So in SharePoint governance, also you cover information architecture and security and the layout, basically, what are the rules of the game here. One thing that usually comes is, what's the difference between when to use Teams versus SharePoint versus OneDrive? So SharePoint is at the back. Even if you're using Teams, SharePoint is part of it. So Teams is OneDrive, for example, is all your personal files, and you can share with other people, people in the organization or outside as well. Teams is if you're working together with the team or the project, you have everything in one place in one team under a couple of different channels based on the topics. You can have it there. But SharePoint is, of course, the team is powered by SharePoint. And then you have SharePoint Online for intranet, for sharing documents that you may not have team site for, or in other aspects where you have Teams site is where marketing team is working and they are creating the documents, but then at the end, you want to share it with everyone else. So that's where you publish it, like in the marketing departmental site, the documents show up there, and it's everyone in the organization can see those documents and they can access it, like HR policy and stuff like that. So what are the next steps? The next steps are, it's part of Office 365, SharePoint. So would say that let's get started, explore these, the SharePoint there, look at lookbook.microsoft.com for some ideas. And then slowly, once you understand the business, the pain points, you can engage your organization. And let me go into the next slide. This is one step, what to do. So we recommend that you start with exploration. So you have these features, talk to your IT department, talk to the power users, those who know the business side of things, explore what ideas are there, what problems can SharePoint solve, and then align it with the business. So for example, what are the pain points? We discussed it last time as well. What are the pain points? You start with that, and then you implement those changes. And then you engage and get feedback from your participants, and then tweak it as you go. So with that, I think I'll end it here. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So Caitlin, it's back to you.
Yep, it doesn't look like there's any questions at this time. So thank you, Hamid and Harris, for the presentation today. And we look forward to seeing everyone next week.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge of this very worthwhile but kind of complicated topic. So thanks much, and look forward to next week. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.